Hello, everybody. Hi. Welcome to the.
Hi.
Well, I wasn't saying hi to you. I was saying hi to the. I
Hello.
was saying hi to the people. Hello, Mike. Welcome to the Tim and Mike show.
Brian's dirty, isn't he?
Yeah, Brian Scott. Yeah, this conversation's running away
I
from
really
us.
feel like it's. I really feel like it's open for interpretation. Who says it's about them?
I think I saw a storytellers or behind the music or something like that back in the '90s. But all songs are open for interpretation. Anyways, yeah, this conversation is going awry. We're having, so if people don't know, we have a group chat with all of our closest friends that we've known since we were we children, and now we're talking about what the meanings of songs are. And our buddy Brian has been doing this thing where he's just dropping random songs from our childhood into this chat, and then we're having discussions about it. And today's was "Freshman" by the Verb Pipe, so we're talking about that song.
Mm.
Yeah.
Cherry vanilla Coke.
What? What are you doing? Coffee.
Coca
Black.
Cola.
Like my soul.
That's a plug, man.
Oh, yeah. Hey, thanks to our new sponsor, Cherry Vanilla Coke. Thanks a bunch.
Too sweet. Almost too
too
sweet. Should be the slogan.
Almost. Didn't say it was.
Almost don't drink me. Feels like eat. Oh, you could maybe crack the can open and eat it. Fairly thick.
Yeah, man. How's it going, buddy?
It's good. I wish I had some coffee.
You were
but
out. We just had this
I had
conversation.
soda, so I'm drinking soda.
So are you gonna order that French press stuff like today, and then it'll be here tomorrow, or by Saturday, or what? Nice,
After I'm done with you.
nice. He's moving into the French
Once I'm
press
done
world,
with
ladies
you.
and gentlemen. The French press world. What a thing.
Yeah, I found. Well, I really feel like I might even get that other one too while I'm at it. But I have a few things that I had picked out. Um, just I have in my card already ready to go.
Yeah,
So
nice.
not don't have to take out the thinking involved in all of it. So
It's probably a good idea. I enjoy the French press life, but it is a chore. It is an ordeal. So it is only a work from home days or a weekends. I have every Saturday before I clean the house. I'm having a French press. You better believe it.
right, yeah, I'm making it for Saturdays and
Hmm.
Sundays. That's my plan. I do. I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to work from the house on Fridays still, and I have the option to. I never do it though, but I could potentially, stay home and make it on a Friday as well.
So you have the
So,
option to work home every Friday. That's nice.
mhm.
I'm working from home on Monday, I think, and I'm excited about that. So
Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's the other spot that's open on the other end. So they don't come in. A couple people don't come in on
oh, they
Monday. I'll come in on
they split it
Monday.
up.
So we
Is that
switch.
a morale?
Yeah,
Is that a morale thing?
remnants from COVID.
Now Jared just took this thing political. Do you see this? It's silly. These people are silly. It is post-election day. We are election day, midterm election day, 2022 plus one. Um, nothing really decided. Georgia's going back into a runoff election next month. Once again, it all depends on Georgia.
What are we talking about? What?
We're just a little election stuff, I guess.
No,
No,
I'm
we're not
talking
talking
about
about.
politics. Are you talking about politics?
I almost
What
got it in
happened?
there. I almost
No,
got
no,
it
no,
in
no.
there. Okay,
No politics. This is a free
that's
space.
true. It's true. Okay, so
Freaking.
how about this?
You get enough of that
And
crap.
what'd you watch this week? How about that? Oh,
Well,
whoa, 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 whoa!
so
Stop. I,
it's not
hold
this
on, hold on,
week.
hold on. I want everybody to comment on the cardigan. Brilliant looking cardigan. Love it. It's a nice cardigan, sir. Look at him. Look at him.
You can zoom in
Is
on
he the
that.
old
You'll
guy
see
from
what
Up? You'll never know.
it's soft.
All right. So what'd you watch this week, man?
I watched a lot of stuff because it's been more than a week.
You don't break the fourth wall here. I don't. You know? Yeah, it has.
I've watched a lot. I watched a bunch for Halloween time.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna have to try to choose and pick which I want to. So I think I'll start off with Barbarian. I watched a movie called
Okay.
Barbarian, and this movie has Justin Long in it and some actors you might or might not.
I didn't know Justin Long was in it.
Yeah, he's in it. Well, he's in the second part of it, so he's not a main character or anything. But it's about a town that has been, or a neighborhood that has been run down, and one house is left, and a person has turned it into what do you call that? Where you where you can rent a house online?
Like an Airbnb.
Yeah, Airbnb. And so she goes there, and there's a guy there already, and so they were double booked, and then they end up staying there together, and they find like this tunnel underground, and it just turns into this really weird movie. I'm not sure if I recommend it, but it's kind of strange. It's kind of cool.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of it or not, but it's a horror
I
movie.
saw it. I saw it, but I did not. I really didn't look into it. I saw it, but I saw it, and I didn't really kind of dive into it or see what it was about. But I mean, it looked kind of cool, I guess, from the cover art, the poster. So
Well, keeping in the spirit of it being in the week, post Halloween or during Halloween when I watched all these that I'm going to choose. I watched Terrifier 2
you watched Terrifier 2?
because my son begged me to watch this insane. So it's not scary because it's well thought out and planned. It's scary in a way because it's just gory in a way that is just
Well,
unnecessary.
isn't it pretty much like torture porn? I mean, isn't it just blood and
It's
guts?
it's just
Yeah.
ridiculously stupid. So it's not really well. I didn't like it, and so I seen the first
Did
one.
you like the first one?
Same kind of thing. You know what I mean? It was just. I mean, it's kind of spooky. I guess the guy's spooky. I mean,
Just not your
it's
bag.
the way.
I mean,
No,
I
it's
think I'm
too
in the
much.
same boat there. You know, we talked about it when we talked.
Have you seen?
I think we talk about this every time we talk about horror movies. I like a horror movie that's going to get in my head. I don't want something just.
Little more
Yeah.
psycho. Yeah. So I mean, you're not going to get a lot of that. It's just more like him just tearing apart things completely for no reason.
So it's a reflection on the generation that your son is in. Just tearing things apart.
He likes it. Supposedly, it's doing really good at the box office.
It's in the box office?
I didn't know. I guess it's probably in select
Okay.
theaters.
Yeah.
I read an article saying that it was doing pretty well because of its gruesome whatever. So, but I do not recommend that either. But if you're just wanting to see something really nasty, if you're wanting to check that out, that's there for you.
Okay.
Blood and guts ripped. Good stuff there. And so then I think I'll just end it with the classic horrors. I watched a few of the Friday 13th. So I won't. We all know what those are about, obviously, and so I won't go and. I watched the second one.
So the second
I
one's
think.
actually the first appearance of the Jason that we know as Jason.
I think I watched second, third. I skipped four, which I believe is Season of the Witch.
No, season that's
And I
Halloween.
That's Halloween. Okay, so I watched five and six. I did. I skipped one of the Jasons. I watched the one where Tommy, not Tommy. What's that kid that brings him back to life with he stabs the thing into him, and the lightning strikes him. He's there with his buddy. He breaks out.
Oh, I don't remember his name. Fin up, go, up. I don't remember his name. I do haven't seen. I
Pretty sure
probably
it
haven't
was
seen that
Tommy.
movie in.
I'm pretty sure it was Tommy. So like, what was going on in the third one? Am I confusing Michael Myers?
Well, you definitely did it with Season of the Witch. That was a moment that you did not get the correct film.
Well, I watched a lot of Michael Myers this week too.
Were you just doing like a
Which one
post
was
Halloween thing?
Which one was Corey Feldman?
Corey Feldman. Are you talking about The Lost Boys?
little young Corey Feldman. Which
The
movie was he
Lost
in?
Boys.
Jason or Friday the 13th or Halloween? I mean, which one
Oh, I guess he was in Halloween.
was it?
Was it
Halloween?
Halloween? I guess he had to have been. Hold on a second. I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen, by the way. But yeah, he must have been.
Pretty
I,
sure he
I
was.
remember that.
No, he was in Friday the
Was it
13th.
Friday the
Okay, so
13th?
he's
Okay,
Tom.
okay.
Okay, so I'm right. Okay, I'm not mixing them. So the way it goes is Tommy in the third one is kills Jason with his sister out in the woods. He's a little boy, and he shaves his head and he comes down the stairs and he's like, "Jason, it's me." And so what the writers of that movie were trying to do is have him kill Jason and basically take over as Jason later on
So
in
the
life.
next generation of Jason, Tommy,
Right.
as it were.
Tommy was. So he freaks out at the end of the movie. At the end of the movie, there's a scene where he's hugging his sister. Everything's okay. And then he looks into the camera so deeply disturbed. And it just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the next killer kind of
Super
look.
scary.
And then it just pauses on his face, his eyes, right? And that's how they end it. So they scrapped that idea and he went to an insane asylum after it. And he and his buddy drive to the cemetery, dig Jason up, and he wants to make sure he's dead, stabs a metal pole into his chest, and is struck by lightning. Jason comes back to
Yeah, I totally
life.
remember this.
And that is, you remember that one, right? I'm pretty sure we watched that at your
Yeah,
house at
I
one
think so.
point. And so, yeah, those are the ones I watched. I skipped around a little bit because I've seen them, but yeah. So I mean, those I watched. I'm just picking out movies I just watched during the Halloween
Okay.
month. Mostly horror. So
Okay.
there's some other stuff I saw on some TV shows that I've been watching.
I
But
definitely didn't do a good job of watching things in this last week. There was too much going on, which is not like me, I know. But, I did watch an episode of a great show that I like to watch. Watched a couple episodes of Veep. I don't know if you've watched Veep before.
no,
Julia Louis
that's the
Julia
comedy,
Louis
right?
Dreyfus plays the vice president. Oh my gosh, is it funny, dude? It's hilarious.
Didn't didn't she get an Emmy
She
for
did.
that?
I think she got a couple. I think they were for a while that they were nominated every year, and they only did like 5 or 6 seasons. And so I watched the first season of that again. I'm kind of slowly watching that, and then I started. Yeah, and it's hilarious, man. It's just good writing. She and she plays this character who's absolutely just vile, right? I mean, politically in front, probably like a lot of politicians are, right? But she
I tend to think so.
she's very prim and proper when the cameras are on, and
Right.
yeah, and so but she's
How about when they're off?
she's dropping f bombs, saying the c word. She
Yeah.
says the c word like a lot. That show, it's like
So
yeah, it's
that's
like listening
that
to Deadwood.
the comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's absolutely comedy.
So
It is hilarious, dude. If you've never watched it, watch it. It's great.
I told somebody told me it was really good. I haven't gotten around to watching it yet. There's a few. I haven't gotten around to watching some shows that I actually
Yeah.
watch. So.
Well, I've been watching that, and then I'm doing my thing where I kind of watch stuff as I work, and I finished Spin City, so I decided to put on a show that I haven't watched in about a year.
What's that?
I put it on The Office again. I started watching The Office again, man. I can't not. It's just too good.
Sure.
Like that show is
It is.
just too dang good. It's like, and you find every nuance. This is probably the 7th or 8th time I've watched the show. It's just too nuanced. There's all kinds of cool things that are you find later on. So I started rewatching that. I'm about 3 seasons in, and yeah, it's just a great show. I mean, it's got a great love story. It's hilarious. Steve Carell is brilliant. I mean, can't beat it. And then I watched something last week that it's not. There's no narrative. Well, there's narrative of brilliance and awesome, because what happened last week was your Houston Astros became the 2022 World Series champs. That's what I watched last week, brother.
Yeah.
Woo! That was awesome, man. I don't know. You watched all the games or what?
Yeah, I flip back and
I
forth.
flipped back and forth at the World Series. I don't get it. Yeah.
Well, we got up. We were winning most of it. I want to watch the whole thing.
Well,
I want to
there
watch
was definitely
everything.
like a few moments there where I was like, "Oh God, we might get our ass kicked." Um,
Well, there was one game
yeah,
we
we
did
did
get
get our
our ass
ass
kicked.
kicked. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
But like going into that game six, I was like, man. And I talked to somebody. I jumped on the Go Go Astros Pat podcast after the game. They were doing a live stream, so I jumped on with them for a minute. Um, but one thing I I took from that and the feeling they're talking because my brother Jimmy hosts that show, one of the hosts of that show, and he's talking about how it was really worried and he was concerned the whole of Game Six. I was completely confident. Even when Schwarber hit the home run, I felt like the Astros were in the driver's seat the whole time. And this is their
yeah.
their games to lose. And I don't know. I don't know. It's great, man. We had that. Then the parade happened Tuesday. We're champs again. The dynasty, in my opinion, is solidified. Um, Today, the announcement that Verlander did opt out of his contract with the Houston Astros. He will test the free agency, so he will probably not be an Astro next year.
Getting a payout before he retires.
Yeah, I think he may be. I mean, he's made tons of money, dude. Like this guy has made.
Well, what else would you be doing that for?
I don't know, because the Astros won't pay him. I think that's a lot of it. I don't think the Astros will pay him. Um,
At
no, they'll
all?
pay him. They're gonna make an offer. It'll be a modest offer, but if he can go
So he
get
wants some money.
5 or 6 million more with, right now I think the look is the Giants maybe. So him can head to San Francisco, but that's speculation at this point. Because he really just announced today that he's going to opt out. So you just see what
Okay.
happens. But that's all I've watched this week, man. We didn't really do
Baker's coming back for another year.
yeah, Dusty's going to come back. He got himself a ring with us. That whole core of that team's still young and still good. And now that everybody's just experienced and battle hardened. Um, it's gonna be an exciting year next year. We just need to fill that pitching spot, which I'll say till blue in the face. We need to bring Christian Javier to that and just make him a solid starter. Anyways, um, that's what I watched, and I know we didn't do a previously on, did we? We're not really watching.
Previously on Dragons.
We finished it last week.
Dragons.
I mean, do we want to talk about House of Dragons 2 weeks after it's?
Well, what show are you watching right
I'm
now?
not caught up with Andor, and I'm seeing major.
Me.
I'm seeing these like people are saying. I saw this one headline for an article that said Andor, the Star Wars show the fans needed and deserved.
I watched 2 episodes again last week. I think I'm on 8 or
Okay, so
9 now.
you're ahead of me. I'm on like 6. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's where I was. I watched a few more last week. I kind of want to go back though. I did that thing where I pick up my phone again. I don't really
yeah,
watch. So I might go back and watch a
you
couple.
just get on Tinder and start swiping.
No, I don't have any dating apps.
Good.
I
Okay, so
Yeah. No, I guess we don't have it previously.
I don't think
No.
we have it previously. I don't think we talked about anything. We'll get one soon. There's some stuff coming down the pipe that we'll want to watch. I know that there's some stuff down the pipe that we want to watch. So we'll figure it out. I guess we'll talk about what our main subject of the week is going to talk about then, huh?
Yeah. Let's do movie. We do movie of the week.
Are we still calling this segment movie of the week if we're not talking about a particular movie? I guess we are talking about. I
Well,
guess we
yeah,
are talking about a particular movie.
we're doing From
Yeah. So
Hell
we watched From Hell this week,
this week.
which
Yeah. So this week was From
one of my
Hell.
favorites.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Who's the girl in this
It's
again?
Heather Graham.
Heather Graham. Heather Graham.
Heather Graham with a bad English accent. Hey, mate, Ed Governor, would you not kill me with your knife, please? Thank you.
So this particular movie was based on a
Graphic
novel,
novel by Alan Moore.
right? And is not actually anywhere near what happened.
Well, and you did a lot of research, and we can talk about some of the research that you did. But as far as the graphic novel is concerned, because I own the graphic novel, it is, first of all, they put the graphic back in graphic novel. That is a very like you do not let your kids look at that, and it's much more
Oh,
more
really?
graphic than the
What's it
movie is.
called? Is it
Yeah,
called
it's
From
called
Hell
From Hell.
too?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's really good. It's really good, but I think with the Jack the Ripper story, when you're making a movie about the Ripper story, is it's hard to because nobody knows he got away. It was in
Right.
1888.
Well,
It was
I argue, did he ever exist?
okay. Well, let's get that. Let's pump the brakes on that because that's some conspiracial, ethereal
Well, I
stuff.
mean, you're talking about five
Yeah,
deaths,
mutilations.
and they're unsure of one and possibly unsure of two.
Okay.
So that's where the problem comes in. You're talking about a time when there was just, there's no forensics
Nope.
at
No
all.
DNA. Nothing at all. In fact, there was
They're
like
not. They were getting hundreds of
yeah.
letters after the press printed the stories. They're sure of maybe two letters for
Mhm.
sure that he wrote. So I don't know. I'm just not completely 100% convinced that he might or might not have been one or two or three different people doing some things after the press
So
leaked.
you're saying since the press leaks the first murder?
Well, they just
Oh yeah, it was
sensationalize it.
brutal. Nobody had ever seen anything like that before. Open street, a woman was dissected. I mean, it's
Right. And so there's lots of different theories,
well that's
We got to
the
switch.
point I was making. The point I was making is that it's hard to tell a Jack the Ripper story in film or book and making it a fictional narrative without picking a lane.
Right.
They had to pick a lane. Now there's several suspects, several ideas. They thought it could be a butcher. They thought it could be, it was a very heavy time of anti-Semitism. They blamed a lot of it on the Jewish population. Uh,
Well, she dies in real life.
yes, she died. She doesn't escape to the
She,
mystery
she,
fantasy
she
world
does not
she's in.
escape, and that's one thing I'm talking about. She's a victim actually,
Yeah.
but she gets away in this movie.
Right, right. Well, they do this kind of switcheroo thing, and that is very fictional, right? And that's but they had to pick a lane. I like the lane they
Right.
went. The guy that played Bilbo Baggins is the super surgeon guy who's losing his mind.
Yeah, I was gonna text that out. Bilbo Baggins is Jack the Ripper, but I didn't think anybody was gonna know except for you what I was talking about.
Now, Jared, I think Jared. No, but Jared probably didn't see From Hell. I mean, Jared doesn't like scary
Not probably
movies. Yeah,
if he had not.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean,
So, but yeah, overall, I like the movie. What did you think? I haven't seen it in a while. What year did this come out?
I'm not sure. Let's go with the IMDb.
2000 and something.
If it was early 2000s, if not the, it must have been the early 2000s. I'd say 2003, four.
What? Oh, really?
I mean, again, I could be wrong, but I remember it being out there. I've seen this movie a bunch, dude. I enjoy this movie because it goes along with that whole. It's 2001. Yeah, it goes
2001.
along with that whole idea that I was really into like researching serial killers and stuff like that. So
Well, it's a cool thought. So, in this movie, they make it a conspiracy to cover up the royal family's involvement with the prostitute and the heir to the throne.
yes, yes. So the
And
way it was written and the way they did it is they were able to populate all the speculation that was surrounding Jack the Ripper and give you a lane that they're going to take this route. This is the narrative's going this direction, but we're going to show you all the other nuances and little things that were happening during that time. That let
so that was debunked,
yeah.
though, that the royal family had anything to do with.
Well, I mean, who knows? Yeah, it was technically debunked, but
Who knows? That was right.
um,
So they say he probably had medical knowledge.
yeah, because the
They
way
probably lived on the street, somewhere nearby.
well the reason they thought it was either a person of medicine or a butcher is because the way the organs were taken,
Right.
and that like so it was so precise in the location because I mean even nowadays a basic knowledge of anatomy is hard to come by. I mean, you have to have some sort of education to have it, right? Um,
Sure. It says here that they had over 2,000 interviews carried out, and more than 300 people were actually investigated. 80 people were detained in police custody, all from that neighborhood. They believe so strongly that the killer
in
lived
Whitechapel?
right there. Well, because of all of the killings were right in the same
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
So yeah, they think he lived right there in Whitechapel. And so that's a lot of investigation. I'm pretty surprised with that for, and I think again it's got to be with just because of the sense of, because of the severity of the murders that people began, not so much who was getting murdered but just how they were being murdered, that it kind of scared the public and they wanted, some sort of results.
Yeah, I mean, it's never, nothing like this has been seen before, right? That's the thing. This is a one in a kind situation. Um, but yeah, it's a. I think the cause for all the investigation and all the pandemonium was the fact that of the brutality of it all, because it was done on the street. So no matter what happens, it was public, right? It was there, and nobody was going to be able to dismiss it. And so, I mean, it was nuts, man. Like from speculation, from what I've read. I don't know. You did a lot of research on it. Talk about it. Let's see. What else you got?
It's just they had there's currently there's over 100 suspects. People are constantly coming out with books on who they say the next Ripper is. So there's so many avenues to go down. I'm kind of looking through currently some of the top, I guess, contenders for who it could possibly be. So there's some doctors, obviously, like some butchers,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you know, um, again, this guy right here, his name is Thomas Cutbush. He's a pretty interesting
Is he your
fella.
number one suspect?
I don't know. I've just been kind of looking through all these. I listened to earlier today, Serial Killers, a podcast. It's a pretty good.
Is that by which podcast channel is that?
It is.
By Parcast?
Um,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
I've listened to that one. It's a good one.
and it's a
Yeah.
three-part series on Jack the Ripper, and it kind of breaks down the killings, how that first happened. But how did you like the scene, where the killer in that movie is in the back? He's kind of like just in the darkness, and all you see is the silver of the blade and the blood in the opening of the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah.
It was a pretty cool
Yeah,
scene
it's super cool. I think.
to kick off.
Well, they kind of took a little bit of that from Scream. I think.
Well, was Scream out in
Oh yeah,
2001?
Scream was a mid '90s movie.
Wasn't it? 98,
Yeah,
I
and
think.
then
Came
remember we did
out.
a whole episode on Scream.
Yeah. Okay. Well, could be. Yeah. So I just thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a cool look.
I liked the movie overall. I felt that it kind of leaves it hits what the mystery behind this guy is. Nobody knows who it was. They have tons of theories, but nobody knows. You're never gonna know. It's done with. So this movie kind of gives you that vibe until the end, and obviously they show you who the killer was, but the entire movie it kind of gives you that vibe of, could it be this person?
Right.
Could it be that person? You know, they did sum it up in this particular movie, but
I think. I think that I like where they went with who it was. I like the fact that it was a psycho, like he was crazy, this doctor that lost it. But I don't know, man. Like there's so much speculation. Like we talked a little bit about H.H. Holmes last week, right? Or H.H. Holmes, and he was an American serial killer during right around the same time, a little bit after Jack the Ripper. and he had built this torture castle, and it was during the Chicago's World's Fair, and he had just was kidnap people and torture them and kill them. And there was this whole like if you do a little research on him, there was this whole like runaway situation. He had a lot of problem with the law anyway, but then they found out that he was he was a serial killer, right? But there was speculation that he was Jack the Ripper, that he just left England because it was getting too hot, and he decided to build a murder castle. I don't know. It's a little.
You want to vote for Jack the Ripper?
Can we vote for?
So
How
on
do we
this
vote for
website,
Jack the Ripper?
Jack the Ripper today. So that vote for Jack the Ripper. So cast your vote in the online poll. To cast your vote, simply choose a suspect from the list displayed below.
All right, let's see. Who are you voting for?
I don't really know any of these people. I don't really. H. Holmes is on there.
Told you. That's what I'm voting for.
Because you were saying that he was living over there at the time.
Yeah, and then so things got hot, and then he.
Are you gonna? You want me to vote for
That's
H.
what I
Holmes?
voted for.
Oh, are you voting?
I just did.
How do you know where I'm at?
Because Google exists.
But you're not on the same one as me.
I'm at. Oh, is it different than the one you're on?
Mine's not coded like that.
I said show results. I already voted.
Oh.
H. Holmes is not one of the front runners at all. Yeah, he's 8th with 1,500 votes. But Aaron Kaminsky.
Okay, here's the result.
Aaron Kaminsky is the number one suspect.
Kozeminski.
Yeah, according to this online thing, was a Polish barber and hairdresser and suspect to be in the Jack the Ripper case. So
the barber.
It's like a Sweeney Todd thing.
Sweeney Todd, singing barber.
I used to say the Sweeney Todd. He worked as a hairdresser in Whitechapel in the east end of London, where a series of murders ascribed to an unidentified figure nicknamed Jack the Ripper were committed in 1888. 1891, Comiskey was institutionalized after he threatened his sister with a knife. He was first held at Colney Hatch Lunatic Asylum, and then transferred to the Leavesden Asylum. Police officials from the time of the murders named one of their suspects as Comiskey. The forename that was not given, and described as a Polish Jew in an insane asylum. Among century after the final murder, the suspect Comiskey was identified as Aaron Comiskey, but there was little evidence connected Comiskey to the murders.
So why then?
Oh,
well, that's the.
Did you see all this stuff about DNA evidence claims?
No, I'm looking at CSI information now.
Welcome to the Jack the Ripper podcast. We talk about Jack the Ripper all the time. Jack Ripper all the time.
Jack Ripper needs. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty interesting, that's just, I guess, considered the first real serial killer.
Right. Yeah, because it was.
You see a MO and
there was method. It was almost seemed ritualistic. Yeah.
But see, there is different things because sometimes he takes things, sometimes he doesn't. So there's theories that it's a possibility that it might not be the same person. It might be that he was interrupted because he had to do his killings in alleyways and things like that. But it provided a perfect cover at the time, I feel like. These ladies at night having to conduct business in dark alleyways. And,
the ladies of the night, my friend.
Right, and he can just do what he wants with them out there, and nobody's going to see or hear anything about it.
Yeah, you're right about that.
So, pretty spooky.
That's crazy, and the thing is that the world will never know.
No, you never know. You can. Well, that's the cool thing about it. You can speculate. You see websites like this. You can go and you can vote for who you think the killer is, there's a whole list of suspects now. People are constantly updating it, so it's intriguing. Obviously, people are interested in these kinds of things. But it's a pretty cool glimpse into the beginnings of
With forensics
you know
and forensic investigations and stuff like that.
right how far we've come, especially
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I will say, it's one of those stories. It's a lot like the story of the Zodiac, right? The Zodiac's also another serial
Yeah,
killer. We're never going to know who he was, ever.
right. And they compared him a lot on that podcast, and just in the writing the letters and toying with the police, and
Right, because,
he's getting to the police at one
yeah,
point, although they weren't able to figure out what body it came from. See, this is the problems with, you wonder if it's because of technology at the time, or you know who
who knows?
knows. So,
No, we will never know. That's the thing.
but yeah, they compared him to the Zodiac. So
You get,
yeah, also very interesting. Never caught.
yeah.
Right, lots of
You could,
suspects. I'm
you
sure
could be
it's
Jack the
similar.
Ripper, for all I know.
One, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have been alive.
I mean, look at that cardigan, though.
This definitely wouldn't have been around back then
It's
either.
far too stylish.
These are premium materials, Tim.
All right, man. We talked Jack the Ripper. If you guys have anything else you want to, anyone else you help our investigation to find who Jack the Ripper is and bring him to justice, finally, uh, you can comment at the bottom,
There's a paper
like and
story.
subscribe.
Is there a huge reward for
Guess
him?
so. I don't know. What if you went to called Scotland Yard? Like, I know who it was. Do you get a reward? And like prove prove
There's no
prove me wrong.
Can't prove it.
Prove me wrong, bro. Now it's an interesting time though, but like that whole Victorian England thing, so it's a lot like, so in that respect. Let me try to phrase this correctly. In that respect, it's a lot like Dahmer, right? We talked last week about how Dahmer was a perfect time for him to do what he did. The frowned
Yeah.
upon, the taboo gay community, the AIDS pandemic, all these things allowed it to be just a perfect, singularity of events for him to go as long as he went.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, but that can be said about the reasons why it happened in the first place. I mean, you don't know the upbringing and the psychology behind Jack the Ripper, but you do know it behind
Right.
Dahmer.
But what I'm saying is that the Victorian England, the events, because at that point
Right.
prostitution was so, like, and it still is a taboo thing,
Yeah.
but
No, you're right. It was a perfect powder keg of
yeah, nobody really
events.
gave a
Like,
crap about Whitechapel. Patrols didn't really
yeah.
happen. He was able to mutilate women. That probably took hours to do, and he's just sawing women up in the middle of the street. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I find that similarity interesting. But
No, that is. I mean, yeah, because I mean, he had similar circumstance. He was in a primarily black neighborhood,
yeah,
murdering minorities that the police really didn't consider a priority in that particular
exactly,
area.
exactly.
I kind of overlooked a few red flags,
A few red flags,
and
brother. Lots of red flags.
yeah, I mean, it was allowed to
hmm
continue,
hmm
and that's yeah. I mean, I think that's how a lot of that stuff happens. I mean, to be honest, I was thinking when I watched that movie, I was thinking, well, shit, if they say that's the first one, not necessarily. That's the first one that people
Well,
noticed.
like clarify yourself there. So what do you mean? Not the first one. The first one people
Because
noticed.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, society has existed for hundreds of years prior to that.
Thousands,
So
sure.
it's like, so yeah, so I mean, it's like there could have been plenty of other killers that were way worse.
Right, but
They were just never notated because it wasn't, studied like that. It wasn't, you know what I
well, I mean,
mean?
and I don't. I agree with you 100%, but I think the categorization is different. So, for example, Vlad the Impaler. For all intents and purposes,
Right.
this guy was a serial killer.
But what do they consider him then? Just a
Yeah,
conqueror?
exactly. He was a conqueror
Right.
who was obviously an evil person, but a conqueror
Yeah.
nonetheless.
Well, I said there's gain involved with him because he's trying to, rule other
Sure.
nations and I just mean somebody who's just killing for the sport of killing. You know what I mean? That just enjoys it thoroughly. That's their whole thing, not for any kind of gain other
The
than
satisfaction of murder.
right.
Yeah, no,
I don't know. I'm sure that has existed.
sure, but I think what makes
Is
a serial
noticed.
killer is the ritual behind it, and that's why I bring Vlad the Impaler, because even though his motive was fear, to cause fear in other nations and to conquer and all that stuff, he didn't have to impale people on spikes and eat lunch in front of them.
Well, that's true. Well, I'm guessing that was to
That was absolutely
keep,
personal
keep
pleasure.
his enemies on
Well,
point.
yeah, well, that was, but
Too.
the eating lunch in front of them, that's well documented. That would eat in front of these screaming bodies.
Eating lunch. Oh, while they're
Yeah,
alive? That's
that's what I'm
creepy.
saying. Like, so obviously satisfaction was coming from that.
Well, yeah, I'd say so. Well, yeah, I guess you're right then. Maybe he had a little thing going
I
on.
think you did. So what else you got for Jack the Ripper? Let's move it back ahead about 400 years, and let's continue to talk about Jack the Ripper.
You know, that's pretty much it. I mean, we've kind of pretty
covered
much
it.
hit.
We
Yeah,
covered it,
I
man.
mean,
Okay, well let's go talk about some news then. You think that's a good idea, or you want to? But before
sure.
we do that, hey, if you guys have any ideas, you think we're total idiots about Jack the Ripper, whatever you want to do, comment at the bottom, like and subscribe, all that stuff that YouTube makes us do. For some reason, and
Let
we
us
don't
know.
know why, but you people have loved the Exorcist episode, and I feel like we're doing that every week. So keep doing that. All right. Let's move on to the news, though, okay? All right, so what we got for the news, buddy? Woo! And we're in the news.
We're in.
We're in the news. Okay.
We're-
Before we get started on stuff, news-wise, all this Jack the Ripper stuff that everybody's getting a look at. There was something that I wanted to share, but I didn't. It's not necessarily a trailer. So, hold on one second. I pulled it up here. I can't spell things. I've had too much coffee now.
Cut up some cantaloupe and pineapple tonight.
Oh, nice. How's that clean living?
Pretty good. Fresh
Good.
fruits. It's nice. I'll bring some to work tomorrow.
Oh yeah, so this is what I wanted to talk about for just a minute. HBO Max is doing something cool. They're making a prequel to it called Welcome to Deary. I mean, it's so pre-production. It just got showrunners, but it is going to be a series.
That's
So,
kind of cool.
Before the incidents of it, it will examine the origins of Pennywise. Yeah, so that seems kind of cool, right? That'd be kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, no, that's neat.
So, well, let's get on to the trailers. Let's jump on to the first one that I wanted to watch with you guys. And always excited for this franchise. You hear that okay?
Yeah.
Is this going to be the most visually stunning movie ever made?
Let me close.
Gosh, it's beautiful.
Dad, I know you think I'm crazy,
Not behind those big rocks.
but I feel her. hear her heartbeat. She's so close.
So what does her heartbeat sound like?
Mighty.
We cannot let you bring your war here.
Outcast. That's all they see.
I see you.
The way of water connects all things. Before your birth and after your death.
This is our home!
I need you with me. And I need you to be strong. Strong heart.
I mean, it looks awesome.
Does that come out in the 3D 40 or whatever it is?
Oh, maybe we do that. Yeah, maybe we do that for it. It looks so beautiful, dude. That might be the most visually stunning movie we'll ever see. It's like, it's gorgeous.
That was good.
Yeah, if it's in 4D, I say we do the 40X.
What it is, 40X? That was called.
So I did a goofy one because sometimes we do goofy movies. Are you ready for this?
The U.S. Defense Department has spent over $1 trillion on the most cutting-edge robot technology, introducing RoboSanta Plus for the upcoming holiday season.
What are you going to do this fine Christmas Eve?
I was potentially gonna go meet up with a dude. I've blown him off twice already, so.
Come on, get a drink with your old pal, Robbie.
What's up with you two?
Just grabbing a drink.
I talk her out of some Tinder trash.
You didn't talk me out of anything. To Christmas! Humbug.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
New animatronic state-of-the-art Santa Claus featured at our own TW Bunkers is now the subject of an international recall.
Santa?
What? This guy killed the kid next door!
You hear that?
Or what?
You need to give me a gun!
What is that?
It's him.
Oh, Santa Claus?
Yeah, it's fucking Santa Claus!
Claus!
Have you heard from the boys down at the scene yet?
They're still down there counting bodies.
No. I'm not going to rush out to see that. But
That's awesome, dude. It just got like, well, that's definitely ruined the family friendliness of the show, but yeah, it looks horrible. I'm probably gonna watch it. I'll tell you that. I put this one on there because you're such a big fan.
Pinocchio.
I want to tell you a story
It's a story you may think you know, but you don't.
That's Ewan McGregor.
Over there! What is that?
Papa! It speaks!
He's just a puppet.
No, I'm not. I'm a real boy.
People are sometimes afraid of things they don't know.
I don't understand.
Ah, we have found him, our star. Everyone shall love you and call your name Pinocchio. Pinocchio!
I have something I'd like to give you. It is a school book which belonged to a very special boy.
The boy you lost? Papa!
Enough of this nonsense.
Hey, where are you going?
You tell him I love him. And I won't be a burden anymore. Hello?
The wooden boy with the borrowed soul. While you may have eternal life, your loved ones, they do not. You never know how long you have with someone until they're gone.
The boy loves you for who you are.
Guide him to be good.
Stop that! Don't hurt him anymore!
You may have no strength, but I control you. Please bring him back to me.
Papa!
Pinocchio!
Life is such a wonderful gift.
Yeah. He has a little deal with Netflix, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, 100%. You gave it a meh. ¿Por qué?
Well, I mean, it's Pinocchio. That looks cool.
It's got definitely got his twist, his flair on it.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's get to the last two. The two that I'm most excited about.
Saying goodbyes.
Saying hello.
You think your wife can hear you?
No.
Then why bother?
Maybe I'm wrong.
You're going to die.
Maybe not.
Goodbye to you, my trusted friend.
A new day is dawning. New ideas, new rules, new management.
We've known each other since we were 9
Who is this?
The Marquis de Gramont. Challenge him to single combat. Win or lose, it's a way out.
I don't sit at the table.
Your family does.
Please pray for me. I was the black sheep of the family.
Man has to look his best when it's time to get married. Or buried.
I'm going to need a gun.
Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die.
If you win, the table will honor its word. You'll have your freedom.
Under the old laws, only one can survive. Failure to meet at sunrise will result in execution. Last words, Winston?
Just have fun out there.
I want you to find your peace. But the good death only comes after a good life.
You and I left a good life behind a long time ago, my friend.
Let's
So I'm guessing he has all night to fight these guys to make it to the morning to fight.
Yeah, well, hold on. To the point where he.
Yeah, fight that guy one-on-one. That's pretty cool. So this will be the last one then.
That's my. That would be my guess. Yeah, that's my guess. I don't know.
Oh, dude,
I like the use of colors.
This looks great. The whale.
Hold on. Wait for it. But I like the use of colors in John Wick. It's like this one's obviously the theme's red. I like when directors put that in there. I think when they really focus on a use of colors or a theme in general, it's really cool for me. But yes, let's go ahead and watch the newest trailer for the newest film from Darren Aronofsky. I've been waiting to talk about this movie since the trailer got released. So let's do it.
Yeah, I saw it the other day.
Looks beautiful.
Do you ever get the feeling people are incapable of not caring? People are amazing.
That's what we get from the first trailer. I mean,
Little brief.
It's a Darren Aronofsky film. It's got Brendan Fraser, who's an amazing actor.
My name is Jane Shodel. I'm the lead programmer for this.
But yeah, for those who don't know, Darren Aronofsky brought you Requiem for a Dream, Pie, The Fountain, among many other films that are just.
You do Black Swan.
He did Black Swan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant filmmaker. You know.
Strange.
Oh, for sure. He's kind of like the Cronenberg of our generation.
It's going to be a weird movie, I'm sure. So there's a little slack or a little flack coming back on Brendan Fraser for playing an obese man and not getting an obese man. The obese men out there are upset.
The obese men of America.
Supposedly, there's a little bit of a backlash.
I find that to be ridiculous.
2022.
I guess so. What? Well, that's the news, man. So, what do you want to watch for next week, man? What do you want? What do you want to talk about?
I say let's watch the. I started. I think we should. It looked okay. Straight from the Roku channel.
You want to watch Weird? I was gonna bring up Weird. Let's watch Weird. Let's do it.
Yeah,
okay.
I started it today, and it started out pretty good. I feel like it's going to turn out to be okay. So
I've heard some good things about it. The press so far has been pretty good about it. Let's go for Weird then. Let's do it. So next week, everybody, let's watch Weird. I was totally thinking the same thing. Wow.
Cool.
Yeah. Any last thoughts for today? I mean, I think we covered a lot of Jack the Ripper stuff.
Yeah, people can let us know what they're interested in if they have thoughts on it or anything. If they have something in particular that they want us to review.
If you like these deep dives into serial killers and stuff that we were doing, I mean,
yeah, we can definitely go a little deeper, make that more of a.
We did mention the Zodiac, and that was going to be my other choice for the film of the week, but
you could do with the Robert Downey.
Could do the Robert Downey and then talk about the Zodiac Killer. But maybe we do that for next week. I like the idea of doing Weird, just lighten it up a little bit with some comedy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But honestly,
change it up a little bit, get a little comedy.
Yeah, get a little lightheartedness and not talk about murder so much.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be it for us. I don't know if you got anything else, Mike.
All
right, man. Well, for the Tim and Mike show, I'm Tim.
and I'm
Go
like,
watch some movies.